In moments of rejection or dismissal, our natural instinct is often to chase, to demand answers, to seek validation. But what if the answer lies not in pursuing them, but in pausing and choosing ourselves instead? When someone ignores you, it can feel deeply personal, as though their silence is a direct statement about your value or your place in their life. But let me tell you this, their behavior has nothing to do with your worth. Your value is inherent. It's not something that fluctuates based on how others treat you or acknowledge you. You were born worthy, and nothing can take that away. Think about the nature of worth. A diamond doesn't lose its value because someone walks past it without noticing. A masterpiece doesn't cease to be extraordinary just because someone fails to stop and admire it. Your worth, like these treasures, is constant. It exists independently of anyone's recognition or lack thereof. When someone ignores you, it often says more about them than it does about you. Maybe they're preoccupied with their own struggles. Maybe they lack the emotional capacity to engage with others. Or maybe they simply fail to recognize the depth of who you are. Whatever their reasons, they are not a reflection of your essence. But here's the challenge: it's easy to internalize rejection and let it plant seeds of self-doubt. You might start questioning yourself, did I do something wrong? Am I not good enough? This spiral of doubt is what diminishes us, not the act of being ignored itself. To combat this, you must remind yourself of a fundamental truth: your worth is non-negotiable. Reclaiming this truth starts with self-affirmation. When you feel overlooked, take a moment to affirm your value to yourself. Speak it out loud if you must. I am worthy of love and respect. I am enough just as I am. My value is not determined by others' opinions or actions. The more you affirm this, the more resilient you become against the sting of being ignored. And over time, you'll find that your sense of self-worth becomes unshakable. Remember, your value doesn't need to be proven to anyone. You don't have to chase validation from someone who fails to see your light. Instead, let their indifference be a mirror not to your inadequacy, but to their inability to see something extraordinary. True worth is like a quiet, unyielding flame. It doesn't flicker when ignored, it burns steadily, regardless of who notices. And so, my friend, let the behavior of others pass through you like the wind, acknowledged but powerless to extinguish your inner fire. Because your worth is and always will be untouchable. Silence can be one of the most powerful forms of communication. When someone chooses to ignore you, their silence is not just an absence of words, it's an action in itself, one that speaks volumes about where they stand and how they perceive the relationship. Silence can hurt because it leaves a void, but within that void lies clarity if you're willing to listen. First, understand that silence is never neutral. When someone remains silent, they're either making a conscious decision to withhold their attention or unintentionally revealing their priorities. Either way, their silence is saying something. Perhaps it's saying, I don't have the emotional capacity to engage right now. Or maybe it's saying, I'm not prioritizing this relationship in the way you are. Whatever the message, silence creates an opportunity for you to see the truth beyond the noise. Chasing someone who has chosen silence often leads to more confusion and pain. You might push for answers, explanations, or even acknowledgement, only to find yourself faced with more silence or worse, dismissive responses. In trying to break the silence, you may end up amplifying your own feelings of rejection. Instead of filling the gap with your energy, step back and let the silence do its work. It's often in stepping back that we can hear what silence is really saying. Silence can also reveal imbalances in relationships. If you're the one always reaching out, always initiating conversations, and always seeking connection, their silence might be telling you it's time to reassess. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual effort and communication, not one-sided pursuit. By allowing the silence to remain, you create space to evaluate the relationship's true nature and decide whether it aligns with your worth and values. Moreover, silence can act as a boundary. When someone ignores you, they're setting a boundary intentionally or not. While it may feel hurtful, respecting that boundary is a sign of emotional maturity. You don't need to chase after answers or force a connection where it's not being reciprocated. Instead, honor their silence as a clear indication of where they stand and use it as a moment to reflect on what you need and deserve. There's also an unexpected gift in silence clarity. When someone withdraws their attention, it often brings a sharper focus to your own feelings, needs, and priorities. You begin to see the dynamics of the relationship more clearly, what you've been giving, what you've been receiving, and whether it's balanced. Silence can be uncomfortable, but it's also illuminating. Silence can teach you about your own strength. When you stop chasing and choose instead to sit with the discomfort of silence, you build resilience. You learn that you can face rejection without losing yourself. You discover that your value is not diminished by someone else's inability to see it. And you grow into the kind of person who doesn't need to fill every void with words or actions, but can stand firmly in the truth of who you are. So the next time someone ignores you, resist the urge to fill the silence. Let it be. Listen to what it's saying. And remember, silence, though often painful, has a way of bringing the truth to light. And the truth, even when difficult, is always a gift. When someone ignores you, the instinct to chase often stems from a deeply human desire for connection and clarity. You may find yourself asking, why are they distant? Did I do something wrong? Can I fix this? But while chasing might seem like the natural way to bridge the gap, it rarely fosters the connection you're seeking. Instead, it often creates an air of desperation that pushes the other person further away and erodes your sense of self-worth in the process. To understand this, let's consider the dynamics of chasing. When you chase someone, the balance of power in the relationship shifts. You place the other person on a pedestal, as if their acknowledgement or attention is something you must earn. This act unintentionally diminishes your own value because it sends the message that their validation is more important than your dignity. Connection built on such a foundation is fragile, unbalanced, and often short-lived. Chasing also changes how the other person perceives you. Instead of seeing you as someone confident and self-assured, they may begin to view you as overly dependent or needy. And while vulnerability can be a strength, desperation rarely is. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and self-respect, not those who seem to need constant affirmation. When you chase, you unintentionally undermine the very qualities that make you attractive and worthy of genuine connection. Moreover, chasing creates a one-sided dynamic that rarely leads to mutual respect. Relationships, whether platonic, romantic, or professional, thrive on balance and reciprocity. If you're the one constantly reaching out, initiating conversations, or seeking validation, you're shouldering the emotional labor of the connection on your own. Over time, this imbalance can leave you feeling drained, resentful, and unfulfilled. There's also a psychological cost to chasing. When someone pulls away and you pursue them, you reinforce a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity within yourself. Each unanswered text or unreturned call feels like another blow to your confidence. This can lead to a harmful pattern where you chase harder in hopes of regaining their attention, only to feel worse when your efforts go unnoticed. Instead of chasing, pause and ask yourself, why am I giving my energy to someone who isn't meeting me halfway? When you stop chasing, something transformative happens. You reclaim your power. You send a message to yourself and to the world that your time, energy, and presence are valuable. You demonstrate that you are not willing to beg for the attention of someone who cannot or will not see your worth. And in doing so, you open yourself up to connections that are mutual, respectful, and genuine. Stopping the chase also allows you to focus on building deeper connections with yourself. When you redirect the energy you've been pouring into someone else, you can invest it in your own growth, passions, and well-being. You learn to find fulfillment within yourself rather than seeking it externally. This shift not only strengthens your sense of self, but also makes you more magnetic to the right people, those who recognize your value without you needing to prove it. Recognize this truth: the people meant to be in your life will not require you to chase them. Genuine connection doesn't need to be forced or fought for. It flows naturally when both parties value and respect each other. By stepping back from chasing, you give others the opportunity to show you whether they truly want to be part of your life. And if they don't, let them go, knowing that their absence makes room for something better. So let chasing be the thing you leave behind. Choose instead to walk confidently in your own worth, knowing that desperation doesn't create connection, it destroys it. True connection arises when two people meet each other where they are, with mutual respect and shared effort. And that kind of connection is worth waiting for. Your energy is one of your most valuable resources. It fuels your dreams, sustains your relationships, and enables you to show up for life with passion and purpose. Yet when you chase after people who ignore you, you drain this precious resource on pursuits that often yield little in return. Respecting your energy means recognizing its worth and being intentional about where, how, and with whom you spend it. When someone ignores you, they are signaling their priorities, whether consciously or unconsciously, and while it's natural to feel hurt, you must understand that their choices don't have to dictate how you respond. Respecting your energy means stepping back and refusing to waste it on people who don't reciprocate your efforts. It's about understanding that your time and emotional investment are too valuable to be squandered on unbalanced or one-sided relationships. To respect your energy, you must first set boundaries clear, firm, and compassionate. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but guidelines to protect your well-being and preserve your emotional resources. When you chase someone who ignores you, you're often crossing your own boundaries, tolerating neglect or indifference in the hope of changing their behavior. But here's the truth: you cannot control how others treat you, only how you respond. By honoring your boundaries, you send a powerful message to yourself and others that you deserve respect and mutual effort. Boundaries also help you avoid the trap of overgiving. When you continuously pour energy into someone who isn't reciprocating, you risk depleting yourself emotionally and mentally. Over time, this can lead to feelings of resentment, exhaustion, and self-doubt. Respecting your energy means knowing when to pull back, when to say no, and when to prioritize your own well-being over the pursuit of someone else's attention. When you honor your boundaries, you also create space for better connections. People who truly value and respect you will meet you within those boundaries. They won't push, test, or ignore them. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, where both parties invest equally in maintaining the connection. By setting and upholding your boundaries, you filter out those who aren't willing or able to meet you at your level. Respecting your energy also means acknowledging that you are not obligated to fix or explain yourself to those who ignore you. Too often, people fall into the trap of chasing because they want closure or clarity. But closure doesn't come from chasing, it comes from within. It's an act of reclaiming your power, deciding that your peace matters more than their explanation, and choosing to move forward without their input. Let's talk about self-care too, because it's intricately tied to respecting your energy. When you stop chasing those who ignore you, you can redirect that energy toward nurturing yourself. Spend time doing things that bring you joy, that replenish your spirit, and that affirm your worth. Whether it's pursuing a passion, spending time with people who truly value you, or simply resting, self-care is a vital way to protect your energy and honor your boundaries. Remember this: respecting your energy and boundaries isn't just about protecting yourself from hurt. It's about living in alignment with your values and sense of self-worth. It's about standing tall in the knowledge that you are worthy of relationships that are balanced, respectful, and affirming. When you respect your energy, you attract people and opportunities that align with your highest good. So when someone ignores you, don't chase. Instead, take it as an opportunity to strengthen your boundaries, honor your energy, and invest in yourself. In doing so, you reclaim your power and remind the world and yourself that your time, effort, and presence are treasures to be cherished, not taken for granted. One of the most freeing truths in life is this: the right people will always see you. They will see your value, appreciate your presence, and understand your worth without needing to be convinced. You don't have to shout, chase, or beg to be noticed by the people meant to be in your life. True connection isn't forced, it flows naturally. When someone ignores you, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-doubt. You may start questioning your worth or wondering if you're not enough, but their inability or unwillingness to see your value says far more about them than it ever will about you. The right people, the ones who genuinely care for you, will recognize your worth without hesitation. They'll make an effort, show up consistently, and celebrate who you are without you having to constantly prove yourself. Imagine a lighthouse standing strong on a rocky shore. It doesn't chase after ships to guide them, it simply shines its light. The ships that need its guidance will find it, and those that don't will pass by. You are that lighthouse. Your role is not to chase people down or force them to notice you. Your role is to stand firm in your truth, shine brightly, and trust that the right people will be drawn to your light. The people meant for you won't require you to chase them for attention. They will meet you where you are, and their actions will align with their words. These are the people who call when they say they will, who show up when you need them, and who respect your time, energy, and boundaries. They will value you not for what you can do for them, but for who you are. It's also important to remember that being unseen by some is a blessing in disguise. Not everyone is meant to be part of your journey. Some people are lessons, not lifelong companions. Their inability to see your value creates space for those who do. When you let go of the wrong people, you make room for the right ones, the ones who uplift you, support you, and inspire you to grow. The right people will also recognize your growth. They'll see not just who you are today, but the potential of who you're becoming. They'll encourage your dreams, celebrate your victories, and stand by you in your struggles. These are the relationships that nourish your spirit and help you flourish. It's natural to want to be liked and appreciated by everyone, but universal approval is neither possible nor necessary. The truth is, you are not for everyone, and that's okay. What matters is that you are authentic to yourself. The right people will be drawn to that authenticity, and the rest will fade away. Trusting that the right people will always see you requires patience and faith. You may encounter seasons of loneliness or rejection, but these moments are not the end of your story. They are chapters in a much larger narrative, a story where the right people come into your life at the right time. Trust that those meant to walk alongside you will find their way. And until then, keep walking your path with confidence and grace. So stop chasing after those who can't see your worth. Instead, invest your energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Stand tall in your authenticity, shine your light, and trust that the right people will be drawn to you not because you chase them, but because they recognize the beauty and strength that already resides within you. In a world that often tells you to seek validation from others, choosing yourself is a revolutionary act. It is a declaration of self-worth, a refusal to settle for less than you deserve, and a powerful reminder that you hold the key to your own happiness and fulfillment. When someone ignores you, the most empowering response is not to chase them, but to choose yourself instead. Choosing yourself begins with the understanding that your value is intrinsic. You don't need someone else's acknowledgement to prove that you matter. Your worth isn't tied to how others treat you or how much attention they give you. It exists because you exist. When you internalize this truth, you free yourself from the exhausting cycle of seeking external validation. Instead, you anchor your sense of worth in something unshakable, your own belief in yourself. Let's be clear, choosing yourself is not an act of selfishness or arrogance. It's an act of self-respect and self-preservation. It's about prioritizing your needs, dreams, and well-being over the pursuit of people who fail to see your value. It means saying, I am enough and I will not compromise my dignity or peace to gain someone else's approval. When you choose yourself, you take back control of your energy and time. Instead of pouring these precious resources into chasing someone who ignores you, you invest them in things that nourish your soul. You focus on your goals, cultivate your passions, and deepen your relationship with yourself. This shift not only strengthens your sense of self, but also attracts opportunities and people that align with your highest good. Choosing yourself also allows you to set boundaries without guilt. It gives you the courage to walk away from situations or relationships that don't serve you. When someone ignores you, it's tempting to stay in their orbit, hoping they'll eventually notice or appreciate you. But choosing yourself means recognizing that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on people who don't make an effort to meet you halfway. It's about letting go of what doesn't align with your worth to make room for what does. One of the most profound aspects of choosing yourself is that it shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Instead of thinking, if I don't chase them, I'll lose something important, you start to believe, by letting them go, I'm making space for something better. You move from a place of fear to a place of trust in yourself, in your journey, and in the idea that what's meant for you will never require you to abandon your self-respect. Choosing yourself also inspires others. When you stand firm in your worth, you send a powerful message to the world about how you deserve to be treated. People who see you respecting yourself will be more likely to respect you too. And those who cannot meet your standards will naturally fall away, leaving you surrounded by individuals who value and uplift you. The ultimate beauty of choosing yourself is the freedom it brings. You stop waiting for others to validate you, stop bending over backward to be seen, and stop compromising your values to fit into someone else's story. You step into the driver's seat of your life, fully embracing your power to shape your own destiny. In every relationship and interaction, you have a choice to chase others in search of fulfillment or to choose yourself and create a life where fulfillment comes from within. When you choose yourself, you reclaim your power, restore your peace, and affirm your worth. So let today be the day you make the ultimate power move. The day you decide that your happiness, peace, and dignity are non-negotiable. The day you stop chasing those who ignore you and start celebrating the incredible, unique person you are. Choose yourself, because when you do, you open the door to a life filled with respect, love, and abundance, all flowing from the most important source, you. When someone ignores you, it's natural to feel a sting of rejection, but how you respond to that moment defines your journey forward. Chasing after those who disregard you is not a reflection of your strength, it's a distraction from your purpose. Instead, it is in the act of letting go, setting boundaries, and reclaiming your worth that you truly find power. Remember, ignoring does not define your value. Your worth is not dictated by someone's inability to see you, it's rooted in your own belief in yourself. Silence, when met with grace, speaks volumes. It shows the world that you are unshaken, confident, and dignified in your response. Chasing those who turn away from you does not create connection, it breeds desperation and diminishes your power. Respect your energy by preserving it for those who genuinely deserve your time and attention. Understand this, the right people will always see you. They will show up, celebrate you, and cherish your presence without you needing to chase them. Choosing yourself is not just a response to being ignored. It is a declaration of your power, a step toward living authentically, and the foundation for building a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. So let rejection be your redirection. Let silence be your teacher. Stand tall in the face of indifference, knowing that your worth does not waver based on someone else's perception of you. Stop chasing what diminishes you and start embracing what empowers you. Choose yourself, because when you do, you unlock a life of abundance, joy, and meaningful connection. The world is waiting to see the light that only you can shine. Let it shine boldly and unapologetically.